Welcome to Storytime Tarot Tales with Jason. This is the story of Aurelle. Last we left Aurelle was at the Isle of Amazons. They had a feast, went to bed, got up the next morning. When Aurelle woke up in her small cabin village hut, there was a small breakfast ready for her, comprised of a glass of milk, a couple of hard-boiled eggs, and there was an apple, and very light, very modest breakfast. So she got up and proceeded to shell the eggs and eat those, and cut up the apple and eat that. She remembered the book that Rosemary had given to her at the observatory. Got some well-being. So she just had breakfast. She's feeling good. Light seeker. Which tells me that, again, she remembered the book that she had. So as she's sitting there having her breakfast, she pulls out the book and starts to look through it. We got an archangel popping up. Right at about this time when she's starting to open the book, the Amazon walks in. So now Carrie walks in. Carrie's just kind of inquisitive. She's younger, much closer to Aurelle's age. She's very, very curious as to what Aurelle's going to do, what her plans are. So Carrie asks, What do you plan to do now that you've come here? You visited with us. Aurelle really didn't know. She wasn't quite sure. She hadn't made up her mind about, life decisions and where she was going and what she wanted to do. However, Carrie had an idea. Aurelle, why don't you stay with us and train with us? We could teach you how to protect yourself so that as you're out journeying and adventuring and doing things, you're able to defend yourself from thieves and witches and so on and so forth. Aurelle decided to, you know, think it over a little bit. About this time, Wendell pops in. Oh. Got some patience. Wendell had kind of overheard the conversation of Carrie and the prospect of staying with the Amazons for a time. Wendell loved being there. The Amazons took care of him, brushed him, fed him. He didn't have a care in the world, so for him, being in the Isle of Amazons was second nature. Just like being at the Unicorn Ranch or anywhere else, you know, that he ventured to usually. And so he urged, you know, yes, you should stay, and you should work with the Amazons for a time, and we should have some patience and enjoy our time here. Right then, Carrie had some obligations, some chores to attend to, and so she wished Aurelle a wonderful, happy day and departed. Passion. So in this patience, in this kind of time to reflect and to look back and to decide what she was going to do, they decided they were going to walk around the village and just kind of see some things. And as they were passing one of the training grounds of the Amazons, Aurelle noticed some archery. And that brought passion to her. Because when she was in the Hidden Valley, she was always using a bow. So her passion for learning the combat and to learn from the Amazons was ignited in that moment, seeing all this, you know, passionate. It just brought back all these passionate memories, and she was brought back to her childhood, so instantly drawn to it. Find out what her decision's going to be, shall we? Oh, we got here. I'm not going to use that one, but got clear path. Aurelle felt this was obviously the way she was going to go. This was her path for this time. She felt like, you know, move these down. She felt like this angel, this archangel that came in and was guiding her. And so she felt inspired that this was the path, and that was definitely where she needed to be. Oh. On the path. That's That's pretty funny. And so we're going to leave Aurelle there with her angel and her decision to stay with the Amazons for a time and to train. I'm feeling like these two belong to Timba. Because we got Illuminate and Wish Fail. Now if we remember, our little witch from the coven had made her way to the sorcerer's coven. She was somewhat rudely dismissed by one of the sorcerers. So she went and found some food, and found some lodging for the night. So anyway, she was looking for this illumination, but she was rudely put away by this wish veil. She was seeking to get some help from the sorcerers and pursuing Aurelle. She got up in the morning. There were some good witches. These witches were they were talking about healing and they were talking about light, and they were talking about moving forward. Brought an awakening to Timba. And although the awakening, helped Timba to open her eyes and to kind of see some things, this beautiful transformation going on inside Timba was just barely starting. It was a candle fire as opposed to a flame. It wasn't like the passion that Aurelle was feeling in training with the Amazons, but still it was a spark to help Timba kind of choose a different path, maybe. She dismissed this, awakening feeling that she was having, and again, continued on to the sorcerers. Back of the deck we have hidden motives and flying monkeys. Sorcerer from the day before knew she had some hidden motives. And he also knew she was sent to go find this girl by some other witches, which turned her into a flying monkey, if you will. of an evil force. Uh-oh. Ooh, that's not good. Tibetan fire serpent. We have cosmic wave. We have soul family. So our sorcerer he's the one with this Tibetan fire serpent energy, if you will, with this higher truth, this discernment, which is why he turned Timba away. He knew that there was something off. There were these hidden motives, and there were these other witches in the background causing Timba to do what she was doing. And he knew that there was going to be this change, this cosmic wave that would wash over Timba and usher in a new transformation for her. So it would bring her to her actual true soul family. Somehow, the sorcerer, using discernment, he knew that this was just, part of the journey for Timba to actually become a sorcerer as opposed to a witch. He knew that her path was completely different. So, what is our sorcerer going to do? Almost came out. Oh, I think there's one that flipped over. No, I lied. Thought it flipped over. It did. 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 Oh. We have hunger. Wolf moon. Which coincidentally we just had. He went and he searched out Timba. Like a wolf howling at the moon, he began to tell her what he saw as far as her path. Timba was awestruck by this. She was taken aback because the day before, this sorcerer was very rude, turning her away. All right. Timba, couldn't believe what was being told to her. But she was young. She still had some innocence to her. Her intuition was saying, hey, this is a good thing. We need to probably think about this. And so she accepted the fact that the sorcerer might be right, and that her path might not be with the witches, might not be in this dark area of whatever she was into. So she accepted the fact that maybe she wasn't making the right choice, and decided to hang out with this sorcerer a little bit longer. So now we're gonna switch gears a little bit. We're gonna go check in with our thief, who was cruising across the grasslands. And he's heading towards his gold vault. Anyway, if you remember in the last episode, he had fed a small yellow canary. Well, the yellow canary had decided that, he was going to follow the thief. Didn't know that the thief was going to his gold vault. Didn't know. You feed him once and they're friends for life, right? And so this little yellow canary decided to follow our thief toward his gold vault. Well, he made it to his gold vault. Without incident. He knew that the canary was heaven sent. At least he felt it was. Small companion. "888. I feel like the canary was truly a heaven sent sign of the infinite love that the universe had for our thief, who had changed his mind and was deciding to help this girl that he knew nothing really about. He did know that his spirit was lightened when he thought about protecting her. The thief changed gear while he was at his vault. He prepared for his journey, got money together, changed his weapons and changed his clothes, relaxed a little bit while he was there. As much as it was a vault, it was a home to him. It was like a lighthouse. It was comfortable to him. He was safe. Because no one knew about it, it made it very safe. Now, he didn't quite know where to go next because Aurelle had vanished. As soon as her and Wendell had touched down on the Isle of Amazons, the magic of the Isle cloaked them, hid them completely from all sight. The sorcerer had no idea where he was. The witches were at a loss because they didn't know where Timba was, and they didn't know where Aurelle was. Again, that cloak that's over the Isle of the Amazons totally hid Aurelle and Wendell from all eyes. Ooh. Now our thief, Arctic Iceland. Our thief knew about the elementals that were far away in the Arctic Iceland. He didn't know quite where it was at, didn't know how to find it, but he knew that if anybody could find Aurelle and could help him in thwarting the witch's plan, to help guide him, it would be the elementals. So no matter where you're at in the world, there's always the elements of earth, air, fire, and water. And so, in order to figure out which direction to head, we went to the top of the mountain peak to search for the Arctic Iceland. Huh. As he was traveling toward the mountain peak, he came across a hidden mountain valley. Just happens to be the hidden mountain valley that our Aurelle came from. Now, he doesn't know that. They don't know that. You know, he's protecting Aurelle. He didn't even know Aurelle's name, so kind of at a loss. However, our thief didn't quite look like a thief so much anymore. He'd changed his clothes and weapons, and he was carrying a sword, and so they thought he was some kind of an adventurer or maybe a special guard from the king's castle, perhaps. A mercenary, maybe. Didn't look like a thief at all. So they welcomed him in and had dinner, and he spent the night there. That is where we're going to leave our thief. Anyway, I am Jason. This is the story of Aurelle. Aurelle's obviously training. She's gonna stay with our Amazons. Our thief is currently in the Hidden Mountain Valley, heading to the Arctic Iceland. Timba's still at the Sorcerer's Coven. Now she's made a friend in the Sorcerer, as he has divinely been guided to know that Timba's changing her direction. And however this had orchestrated itself, the Timba had now decided to accept the Sorcerer's words and his invitation to change path. And so Timba became Sorcerer's apprentice at this point. I'm Jason. This is Storytime, Tarot Tales, Story of Aurelle. We're just getting going, so the story's gonna change obviously and morph as it goes. And anyway, I'd love it if you'd hit that like button. I'd love it if you'd subscribe. I would love it if you'd share this story with friends. Again, I'm just getting started, so even the concept is kind of fresh for me anyway. If you like the story, hit me with a comment. Send me a comment. Love my viewers. I love my viewership, even though there's one person watching. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next one, guys. Thanks.